ingredients first. There was little technical challenges, so we just came up with a small can. As I was saying, I've been doing meditation for the past 16 years. And I'm really lucky enough to get connected to this book through Patriji. As we are all have been hearing about this book, the great book, The Untold Story of Sita, from Patriji himself, from the past 1 month. In the month of March, Patriji, when he came to Pyramid Valley, he introduced this book to me. I just got fascinated with the title, The Untold Story of Sita. I was really awestruck, as we all know the great epic Ramayana since ages. But this title, The Untold Story of Sita, what could that be? Is the same story with a different perception? Or is it something new? I was fascinated enough, and then I started my book reading. Thanks to Patriji, who has introduced this great book to us. And friends, let me say you, the book is really, really important at this moment, as we are all in the lockdown situation due to Corona. And this book, the energies will help us to withstand with the situation, the current situation. Let us all know more about this book in brief. The author of the book, Dena Merriam, was Meenakshi in one of her past lives. Meenakshi was a person who was serving MatadeviSita. Do you know, friends, from the beginning of her childhood, Sita Devi was referred as Mata. So after reading this book, even I got connected to it, and I started referring her as Mata. So Meenakshi is one of the person who was serving MatadeviSita. Let me give a small introduction about Dena Merriam, alias Meenakshi. Meenakshi's father was serving Janak Baba in the Mithila kingdom. He was very much close to Janak Maharaj and taking care of his whereabouts. Similarly, Meenakshi was habituated to go to the palace often and taking part in different kinds of works there. Meenakshi's father asked her to do different kinds of work, including cleaning the floors. Meenakshi was a bit upset. Why should I do it? Is that my job? I'm not for that. But his father was very specific. Any kind of work you do in the palace is for the kingdom, is for the welfare of this place. It is for the king and queen themselves. He didn't have any distinguish between the words. Thus, Meenakshi was habituated to do all different kinds of works in the palace. One day, when Meenakshi's father vacated his body, she started being very upset. she couldn't be in the regular way with everyone. She became very sad and isolated. And as we all know, Janak Maharaj was a great yogi, was a great jnani with a lot of wisdom, but he didn't have any children. At that time, with his tapas, he got a message and he immediately took his wife and started from the palace. At the end of the city, the end of the kingdom, there in the fields, he could hear the cry of a baby. The queen was shocked and immediately they went near and took the baby into their hands. Janak Maharaj had knew there would be a child for him from the Mother Earth through his meditation. As she was born to Mother Earth, Vasundhara Ma herself, gifted by the earth. That is why Mata Sita also had a name called Vaidehi. She was the joy of Mithila. She was the gift to the whole of the kingdom. As they took the child to the kingdom, she was completely loved by everyone in the kingdom. She was completely loved by everyone in the kingdom. And one day, Janaka Baba approached Meenakshi that she should take care of Sita. Thus, Meenakshi had a great opportunity of serving Sita Devi from her younger days. Sita was a great boon, as I said, she was a great boon and joy for everyone. The whole kingdom, the complete palace, was rejoicing with her energies. And they all understood that she was the gift from celestial worlds. She was the gift for her father, Janak Maharaj. And from the very younger days, Sita Devi was so passionate with everyone and was so lovable with everyone. From her childhood days, she was taken by Janak Maharaj to different ashramas, hermitages, where she can meet yogis. She was introduced to meditation and all the sacred literatures from her young age. And at one point of time, when she was in a hermitage, she suddenly started walking. She used to crawl and she immediately started walking. When she was back to palace, her mother, the queen of Mithila, said, I feel it has been ages because my child has gone crawling, and with the help of the yogis there, she immediately started walking and she has come back to palace. As I was saying you, she was very much affectionate with the animal kingdom. Let me say you an example. There's a small story which happened during her younger days. When she was about 3 or 4 years old, she came up with a whole number of group of the people, and they all visited a hermitage. And during the night, suddenly Sita was missed from the bed. Meenakshi was very much upset. As Meenakshi is a caretaker of Sita, she couldn't understand what happened to MatadeviSita. She was waiting for her. She started going to the nearby forest and started searching for her. And Janak Baba said, "Please don't worry. She'll obviously come back." After so much of time, when she didn't return, Janak Baba and Meenakshi both went in search of Sita. And from a distance, they could find Sita sleeping with a group of monkeys. Janak Baba said, "Sita, I understand your purpose of coming here, and I feel the purpose is solved, and now you can be back." Meenakshi couldn't understand that. She felt, what is the purpose? What are they speaking to each other? And then she understood the main fact why she was being there. During the play, there was a small child, the small monkey of the big monkey. It got hurt and expired when it jumped from the tree. The mother monkey was very much upset as it lost its child. It was very much in depression, and immediately Sita understood the feelings of the animal, and she immediately went and pacified the mother by sleeping on the lap of the mother monkey. That shows the affection she had towards the animal kingdom. And from that instance, Janak Baba said, "I can understand you go away only with a purpose, but please let us know before you leave." Let me say you another incident where in her dream she saw an ox getting flooded in the river. She immediately woke up, went to the river, and started scolding it. "Why did you take away the ox? Why it was flooded with you? Do you know the pain when an ox is getting missed? How can the farmer plow his field? How can he do the agriculture? How can he survive with the family when the ox is not there?" So she requested her father, "Kindly know whose ox was it. Let us please replace his ox, and his family has to get supported through it." And then they started going to the complete village and checked up whose ox was missing. And people turned up saying, "It was not our ox are with us." And Janak Baba said, "Maybe it is only a dream. It would have not happened. Why are you very much serious with that? Let it go." But Sita strongly said, "No, Baba, I see the instances. I saw the ox going away with the river, and finally they could find a man coming up saying that he has missed his ox." They were shocked, and immediately with the help of Janak Baba, they gave the ox to the farmer. After that, she again returned back to the river and said, "See how the farmer is. Why did you take away his ox?" And the river replied calmly, "Mata, I didn't take away the ox. the ox itself slipped and fell inside the river. She couldn't understand that. The river explained the term called death to Matadevi. With that incident, she started understanding the terms called birth and death. When all these incidents were happening, she immediately turned to Meenakshi and said, Meenakshi, do you understand the birth and death? And she immediately said, Yes, Mata, birth and death is very much in this earth plane, and it is all with a purpose. So immediately Sita Devi said, When you can understand that, then why are you still in guilt and why are you still in depression when your father has lost? This shows how much care she gives to her surrounding people. Without any expression, Sita Devi can understand the expressions of people around her. Friends, I really felt so much of connection with everything as how we see Patriji. As many of you have seen, when we be with Patriji, we are with the ultimate joy. And we can really feel the energies in his presence. And he can understand what is our current situation. And he absolutely guides us how to proceed forward. I felt so much of connectivity with the book and our Pyramid Spiritual Society's movement. And dear friends, as I have been saying you, the term Corona has become a great thunder in the current situation. And please understand, the compassion towards the animal brotherhood is very much important. As MatadeviSita, let us also be compassionate towards the animals around us. And what more is required to preach about the word vegetarianism by seeing the current scenario now? It is time for us to awake and awake the whole world around us to know the importance of vegetarianism. And please understand, we are not the only people here. The universe is with coexistence, with lot of species around us. That's how I got related with this book in the current situation. Let me just go back to the book. As I was saying, she was very much affectionate from her younger days, and she used to interact with lot of yogis and learned lot of sacred literatures. And she was very much fond of knowing new things. She used to connect to herself with meditation. And one day, there were a lot of yogis visiting the palace of Mithila. They were all awaiting eagerly that Mata Sita would serve them. So Janaka Baba immediately sent Meenakshi to check the whereabouts of Sita. Sita was not found. So they immediately went to the nearby forest and they checked. There, Sita was sitting into meditation. When they tried to wake her up, she couldn't. So immediately they ran back and said, Janak Baba, we are not able to get Sita back. I think only you can do it. And Janak Baba rushed himself by leaving all the guests in the palace. When he saw Sita into deep meditation, he also sat into meditation. And he immediately went to the trance state. The energies were so dense. The people around her started going into the meditational state. Meenakshi and another serving person called Soma really couldn't understand what they could do. So they again went back to the palace and brought all the guests with them, who were all the great yogis, maharshis. They all came to the forest and sat around Sita and chanting mantras. It was a great eye feast, as explained by Meenakshi, alias Dena Merriam, the author of this book. You know, friends, by reading that, I felt myself connected to it. I could see from the eyes of the author, Meenakshi. When all the yogis around them started chanting the mantras, they all started going into the meditation. From evening, it has become night, and the morning has dawned up. From the early sunrise, Sita opened her eyes and was surprised to see so many yogis around her who were into meditation. She started coming out of the meditation and requested for her apologies that she couldn't welcome or take care of the guests who have come to her palace. So they all returned back to the palace, and Janaka Baba asked, "Dear Sita, what had happened in meditation? I was really afraid as you would go back." As we know from the earlier of the story, Sita was given by Mother Earth, and as Janaka Baba being a great jnani, he felt that Sita can return back at any day. And Sita Devi said, "Baba, please don't worry. I will absolutely say to you before I leave this Mother Earth." That is how she promised her father that she will inform before she leaves. And when she was explaining the incident, she said, "I was into the meditation deep states, into the trance, and I felt like going back to the celestial worlds. And strong energy pulled me back to the earth. That was such a soothing energy. And they couldn't understand what was happening." And she said, "I felt the presence of Shri Ram there. He was a person who brought me back to this earth." So Janak Baba understood, and this is the right time for her Swayamvara. So immediately Sita Devi said, "Baba, I was attracted by his energies, but I really don't know whether he is the soulmate for me." And Baba said, "Dear, we are here with a purpose. And when it is the right time, you will absolutely get connected to the right person. And when your Swayamvara take place, the right soul for you will come and get connected to you." That is how the Swayamvara was organized, and Rama got connected to Sita. In the initial stages, when she came to know about Ram, she was a bit tensed because Rama had killed a demoness. Because killing a woman is not a small thing, and it would create so much of curse. And Janak Baba immediately said it was for the great welfare of the community. It was a great welfare for the whole of the kingdom, for the yogis himself, because the demoness was disturbing the people who are into tapas. So what Rama did was absolutely right, and it is the part of dharma. And she was awestruck when she knew about the great Mata Ahalya. Dear friends, let me say you another interesting fact about sage Gautama and Ahalya. You know, we have been very much affected by hearing the story that when Indradeva had come in a different form as his husband, sage Gautama, and Ahalya couldn't identify, and that is why sage Gautama had cursed Ahalya and she has become the stone. Dear friends, this is not the truth. I was really shocked to know the absolute story. Sita Devi, when she came across the story, she immediately got connected in her meditation and said, why did this happen? When they both are great sages, why would a sage curse another sage? And let me say you the exact story what was mentioned by Dena Merriam, the author. It was known to Meenakshi absolutely with the words of MatadeviSita. And friends, let me say you the absolute story is where Indradeva had come in the form of Gautama, but Ahalya Mata was able to identify that it was not sage Gautama and it was Indra. Indradeva had come to test for their penance. As we all know, testing is always there. We all being the great masters and meditators, even we face a lot of tests. And this was a test by Indra himself. So Sita Devi got connected to Indra and asked, why did he come in the form of Gautama? And he said, I had come to test them, and Ahalya Devi found that it was not Gautama and it was Indra. But Gautama was not with the situation. He just saw Indra passing out in his form and without knowing the absolute situation and immediately cursed Ahalya. But Indradeva gave the option of that Ahalya has passed for the test and she can go to the Swargalok, Moksha. Because he cannot turn back the curse. As for the exchange, she was given two options whether she can go for moksha or become a stone and wait for sage Gautama so that both can return back to the moksha. And dear friends, let me say you, Ahalya Devi accepted from the option given by Indra as as she waited for as she just waited for her husband to get rid of that physical worldly things so that they can both together go to the moksha. Until then she would be as a stone. This was the absolute story, friends. And again we know with the greatness of Rama, the stone had again changed back into Ahalya. When I shared the story with Patriji, he immediately said, appearances are deceptive. So whatever comes to you, whatever you hear, whatever you know, there is always another perception. And this is one such story from this great book, the Untold Story of Sita. So, as part of his Swayamvara, MatadeviSita and Rama got connected and got married. Dear friends, as we all know, the Mithila is a great kingdom and it had lot of agricultural techniques. And Sita Devi also used to learn the techniques of ploughing. And Rama was surprised to know the different technique. So he immediately learned all such things from Mithila and Janaka Baba. And he also said, like, I would learn all these and implement this in Ayodhya. Janak Baba then was creating lot of smaller communities for self-governance. Ayodhya being a very vast kingdom, Rama said, it would be really great if we can also create such self-governance units. And it's supposed for the whole of the kingdom. And dear friends, also understand that is how our Patriji is been with this movement as part of decentralization. There are a lot of spiritual societies taking care in different states, different cities, different villages and towns. And that is how the whole movement is being expanded. Each and every person is a master and not a disciple. Thus, I could just connect how Patriji's mission is and how it was during the Ramarajya. Because people always wish there is Satya Yuga which is going to come and there is Ramarajya which is supposed to happen. And I could really resemble how Patriji is with this movement, and that is equal to the Ramarajya. And dear friends, as we all know, Sita Devi was very much close to the nature with the animal kingdom, but it was not the same scenario in Ayodhya. So she also took Meenakshi and Soma, who was serving her, to Ayodhya. She also said, please understand that Ayodhya will not be like Mithila, and it is our own part to transform the people of Ayodhya and get them closer to the nature. And that is how a human being is supposed to understand the symptoms of nature, to get connected to them. And let me add another point here saying, through this book we can understand there are a lot of people from Mithila who have got reincarnated in Ayodhya to implement all such techniques, to implement the love towards the humanity and animal kingdom. So, when she was moved to Ayodhya, she felt a bit restricted in the palace and she used to wait for the opportunity to go near the river, to go to the forest. One day, Meenakshi, Soma, and MatadeviSita left to the river in the early morning. They started playing in the river and they offered their prayers to the river. They used to often visit, and it had become a tradition in the later days. Like a lot of women from Ayodhya in the early morning would come near the river and started offering prayers. Guys, as we all know, the important part had come. So after a few days of marriage, Rama was sent to the forest. And we all know that Kaikeyi Mata had done that. When I used to hear Ramayana stories in my younger days from the grandfather, there was a picture of a willy, because Kaikeyi had sent Rama to the forest. If she wouldn't have done that, it would have been great. The kingdom would have been flourished. And this was the opinion which I had in my mind. But absolutely, after coming into meditation, I started understanding that everything is with a purpose. Rama is supposed to go to the forest, and it was to be happened through Kaikeyi. She was just an instrument, and she was not the reason for Rama and Sita to go to the forest. And friends, here there's another important thing to be noticed. When the situation had come that they are supposed to leave to the forest, MatadeviSita instructed Meenakshi and Soma and few other people all the works to be allocated, to be done during her absence. She set up a fire and she said, I will always be here with these energies. And you can connect with me through these energies. That is how she used to connect with the people in Ayodhya and said, if you want to get connected to me, with this fire, we can interact. I can understand what is happening in Ayodhya and I can also transfer the messages which is to be said to the Ayodhya people through you. And she said, kindly understand that I am here. My energies are here. I may be physically not seen, but my energies are here and my presence is here. And please, yes. So when she started saying that MatadeviSita may not be physically available there, but her presence is absolutely there in Ayodhya in the form of fire, the sacred fire. And she was instructed that her servants like Meenakshi, Soma, and Usha, they should take care as if the Mata was there in Ayodhya. They used to keep the dress, the jewels, every day in the morning, offer her flowers for the puja. And this was their daily routine. And let me say you friends, Meenakshi was a little bit aged by then, and she was very much upset that after 14 years when Mata Devi returns back to Ayodhya, whether Meenakshi would be there. And as we all know, the great Mata can understand the feelings of her surroundings, and she said immediately, don't worry, Meenakshi, I will come to you during your last days. And that pacified her. As we all know, she was allocating the works for everyone, and she said Meenakshi to take utmost care for Kaikeyi because she would be held by different people in the kingdom and she would be into hatred and there will not be any people to take care of her and she'll go back into isolation. So kindly take special care of her. And friends, understand when there is a problem and we face some such kind of situation, there's a human nature that we get angry towards a person. And this shows the divine quality of Mata Sita, where she says to take special care of Kaikeyi. And friends, from there she started to forest. As we all know, 14 years, Ram, Lakshman and Sita are supposed to be in the forest. And her last year was in Lanka. And let me say you, as Mata Devi Sita was very much happy with the nature and being in the forest, she was dwelled with lot of surroundings with the animal kingdom and she used to enjoy her presence. She met lot of yogis, visited lot of ashramas, hermitages and learnt many techniques from them. By then, she also started sensing the surroundings about her. There are a lot of people who are into disturbance because of the demoness around them. And the Ravana's frequencies were touching to them in the forest. And there are a lot of people, the yogis, who are suffered. And she understood that it is time for her. And she was preparing herself that she is going to Lanka. Dear friends, let me say another interesting fact. You know, when I was reading this book, and when I came to that Maya lady, the golden deer, I was just blank. I couldn't digest that episode for so much of time. Because we all know that Sita Devi was taken to Lanka because she crossed the Lakshman Rekha, because she asked for the golden deer. And friends, there is nothing such kind. As we all know, Mata Sita was a great spiritual leader, a great spiritual being. How could she desire for something? So, when all those incidents were there, it just happened in such thing. Rama had just went, as she was in upset, they just said, I'll get you a surprise. And that's how Rama left. And friends, let me say you, when she heard the voice of Rama, people think the Lakshmana had left. And there is nothing such kind. Lakshmana just went away because Rama didn't turn back after a long time. As Sita was there alone, and she said, she prepared herself that it is her time to leave to Lanka. With all her known purpose, with all her known facts, she went to Lanka. And she was not kidnapped by Ravana. Does it look very interesting? And friends, I think we have seen the first part of the story. We all knew the greatness of Sita. Now let us connect to her energies and do meditation. Because this is the main part where Sita is being taken to Lanka. And what happened to her after that? We all know that Rama had won the war. And do you know what was the play of Sita there? How she could defeat Ravana? Internally. There are a lot of such interesting facts again. So let us start our meditation for 5 minutes meditation. So for all the newcomers, let me just say how to do the process of meditation. Kindly cross your legs, clasp your hands, fingers into fingers, your eyes closed, and observe your normal, natural breathing process. Meditation is very simple, my dear friends. Just cut away the thoughts and be with your breath. Your normal, natural, easy, soft, tender, tranquil breath. Let us do 5 minutes meditation. I'll play some music. And let us all be in meditation. Being with yourself is meditation. And meditation is the only best gift one can give to their own self. Let us all observe breath with the help of melodious flute music of Patruji. Breath is the gateway to get connected. Put your thoughts away and say to yourself, it is time for meditation. Let us all be in meditation. Final 1 minute. Let us all be with our breath. Kindly place your hands on the eyes for 5 seconds and then slowly open your eyes. Dear friends, this was a great writing by Meenakshi in the book The Untold Story of Sita. And when she went to Gurukula and understood that Sita was taken by Ravana, she couldn't digest and she immediately stopped going to Gurukula. Her parents couldn't understand that why it was happening. And when they met Soma, Soma started saying, yes, child, you are right. She was not kidnapped by Ravana, and Mata Sita had left to Lanka to destroy the place of Ravana. As we all know, Ravana was also a great yogi. He earned lot of boons when he did tapas, but he did not use it in the right platform. And there were a lot of negative energies which was happening in his kingdom. And Sita Devi has to go there And Shri Ram has to come there to destroy everything. And that was their purpose. And when 1 year Sita was there in Lanka, she was put up in the garden, as we all know, the Ashokavana. The one tree in the garden was very much close to Sita, and she used to always spend near the tree. So all these stories are narrated by Soma to Anasuya. Anasuya, in one of her past lives, is Meenakshi, and she is the author Dena Merriam. Dear friends, Patriji always says, right food leads to the right thinking pattern and right words. And this is again proved in one of the other facts when I came across the book. When Sita Devi was put in Lanka, she just drank some water. And when she sat into meditation, she was in too much of disturbance because Ravana just entered into her illusionary world and started disturbing her. She understood this fact with the help of Parvati Devi. So in her meditation, she invited Parvati Devi, and Parvati Devi said, do not have any water or food in Lanka until Shri Ram comes here. So she withstood the whole of the Lanka period only with meditation. One day Mandodari came. Mandodari, wife of Ravana, had come and visited Sita. So Sita gave a lot of wisdom to Mandodari, and she said, absolutely, I can withstand myself only with meditation. And when the day comes that I need to eat, absolutely I will eat the food which is cooked by you. And Mandodari was not like Ravana. She was very affectionate enough. And she also said the purpose of Mandodari getting married to Ravana. Likewise, she was completely into the meditation state. And in her meditation, Parvati Devi used to occur often and give her the essence of the purpose of her life. Parvati Devi said, you are absolutely the Narayani, means Lakshmi. You both have come here and incarnated on this earth to fulfill a purpose. And she makes herself recollect everything regarding her purpose in Lanka to destroy Ravana. Likewise, they understood the purpose of being there, and she started defeating Ravana with her thoughts. Now, Sita Devi started entering into Ravana's mind and giving her the education. So, my dear friends, when we understand that what is our purpose on this earth, we can live a great life. So, let us all just understand the purpose of being here. And that gives us the complete energy and enthusiasm to proceed. With this purpose, she could withstand herself in Lanka. And Parvati Devi also said, you will get Hanuman here, who is another form of Shiva. And he is Shiva's Amsa. And with the entry of Hanuman, the whole chapter got changed. He was a great help to Rama, and they all together defeated Ravana in Lanka. At this time, we also know about Sanjeevani. When Lakshmana fell down, Hanuman had bought the Sanjeevani. And in that interval of time, Immediately Sita approached Yama and said, please give him his life. When Yama said that Lakshmana has completed his life, Sita immediately said, please take some years of my life and give it to him, because Urmila has been waiting for him in Ayodhya and he has to return. That's how she sacrificed her own life to Lakshmana. This shows her greatness, my dear friends. And when the war came to an end, as I already said, Sita Devi was completely into meditation. When the war has come to an end, Lakshmana came and saw Sita with so much of light around. He couldn't understand the light being around her, and he thought that Sita was burnt alive. And that is how the story of Agni Pravesha had come into the existence. It was just a misconception. Sita Devi was in meditation and it was light around her, and it was not the Agni Pravesha which was done by Sita to prove her chastity. So I say everyone to read this book to understand the more greater facts about what is happening. My dear friends, when they all returned back to Ayodhya, she used to go about the city and see how vast and how developed it had become. And at one point, and at one point, she met a woman who was offering continuous prayers at the riverside of Ayodhya. And this energy helped her to withstand in Lanka. That is all with the help of meditation, my dear friends. And she gifted a pendant to the women there. So let us get the connection how it came to Anasuya. When Sita Devi gifted the pendant, she went about the complete of Ayodhya and she felt her life purpose is still more there in the forest. So she immediately discussed with Shri Ram and said, my purpose is there in the forest. So let me please go to the forest. But by then she was pregnant. So people here thought that Shri Ram had just put the Sita away to the forest at this condition. I mean, absolutely no. But Sita herself opted to go to the forest because she wanted to impart the knowledge, what she had learned in her childhood, to her children. And forest is the only place where she can give the right wisdom. And when she left to forest, it was all with agreement with Sri Ram and with all her family members in Ayodhya. When she was in forest, Soma had accompanied MatadeviSita. And Sri Ram used to come and often visit her in the forest and know about her whereabouts. At this point, Sri Ram's elder sister approached Sita and helped her during the delivery of the two lovable children, Lava and Kusha. My dear friends, when we are with a purpose, we get the help from nowhere, and that is one of the loveliest examples. And during the childhood, she used to say Lava and Kusha all the stories during the bedtime so that they can get connected to the great yogis and the sacred literature. And she used to bring them up with all the knowledge of ruling the kingdom, even in a spiritual manner. At this time, let me say you another small story, my friends. So, as we all know, Sita was very much affectionate to the animals. Once there a tiger had come. From 2 days, it was in the entrance of the hermitage where she was staying. and Sita didn't even turn up to the tiger. In the third day, when Sita went near the tiger asked for forgiveness. Soma couldn't understand that. And you know what had happened? A hunter had killed the cub of a tiger, and in return, the tiger had killed a small boy. So now the whole village is searching for the tiger to kill it because it may create more harm to the villagers around them. So, through this incident, Sita was given an intuition like how the world would change, how the animals and the human kingdom is getting differentiated, how the partitions and the problems had started to occur. So she immediately cooked food and approached the mother of the small boy. She served the food through her hands and said, "Please do not kill the tiger." It had also faced the same problem as it had been killed with a cub. So, friends, this is to understand how we should be in friendship with the animal kingdom. And once there is a problem, it has to be rectified. So, no animal will harm until and unless anything is done to them. So, she understood the fact and spoke to all the village people not to kill the tiger. So, she tried back to bring the maximum possibilities towards the friendship of the animal and the human kingdom. And my dear friends, it is time for MatadeviSita to leave this earth plane. She did her maximum possible to this earth, her mother, from where she has born. When she was given the hint by Mahadeva himself and Parvati, Shri Ram had organized for the huge meditation session. One day, suddenly lot of yogis, rishis, maharshis, people around was completely filled with meditation. And Soma was just awestruck to see the situation. There was so much of light around them. And it is the indication and the appreciation for Sita to coming to this Mother Earth and completing her mission. And the next day, Sita went inside the forest and in the form of light, she disappeared from this earth plane. And Soma used to take care of Lavakusha for a few more years. And from there, they moved to Ayodhya and started ruling the kingdom. So after some years, Rama came to the riverside and sat into meditation. When Hanuman had come, he could sense Sita standing next to Rama with the shoulder. She just kept the hand on the shoulder and indicating that Rama, it is time to move from the earth plane. The purpose has completed. And my dear friends, we all know that Hanuman is also a great meditator. Mahavir Hanuman. So only he could see Sita, who was standing next to Rama. People, everyone in the kingdom thought that why is Rama coming and doing meditation here? They all could not witness Sita Devi there. So, in the similar way, Rama had also vacated himself from this earth plane. So, Hanuman used to take care of Soma and to get her food. And as she was getting old, she was completely only in the forest. And she used to say the stories of MatadeviSita to whoever comes to the hermitage. And that is how Anasuya came to know about Sita. And my dear friends, let me again remind you, Anasuya in her past life is Meenakshi, which is now the author Dena Merriam. See how happy it is to know the direct words from the person who was there. And this shows the absolute facts. So, with all this story, Anasuya understood who she was and why she was not much willing to the marriage. After the departure from Soma, she accepted for her marriage. And Anasuya's parents were very happy. You know, the person who was chosen for Anasuya was the grandson of the person whom Sita Devi had given the pendant. So Sita Devi could foresee that Anasuya, who was Meenakshi, is going to get married to the person of this home and gifted the pendant. So she can retain the energies of MatadeviSita. My dear friends, please understand everything happens for a cause. And there is a connection with every incident of our life. So I thank all the viewers who have been watching this in the Pyramid Valley YouTube channel. So Pyramid Valley is one of the 7 wonders of Bangalore, a biggest pyramid in the Asia built solely for meditation. And this is the international headquarters of Pyramid Spiritual Society's movement, started by Patriji 30 years ago. My dear friends, please visit Pyramid Valley after this lockdown. Do meditation. There's a special King's Chamber where you can experience a lot of energies. It is a 26 acres campus with a lot of facilities. You can stay here, do your meditation. As part of Pyramid Valley, we have Pyramid Valley YouTube channel to put a lot of videos. Please subscribe to our channel to know more about Pyramid Valley. You can also get connected to us with the help of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and WhatsApp. Thank you, friends. It was great with you all being here. And let me just check out, as I was being continuously in the narration, so let me just check out with few of the comments like who have posted in the YouTube. Thank you, friends, for all your wishes. Absolutely, we will develop and give a better session, as we just faced few technical challenges in the beginning of the session. So I request everyone to kindly read this book, the great book, The Untold Story of Sita. And please do understand, everything happens for a purpose. And kindly understand your purpose on this earth planet and get connected to yourself. Thank you.